Thanks. That's all for today.
Thanks, 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 that's all for today.
Thank you, that's all for today.
Thanks, that's all for today.
Thanks, that's all for today.
Thanks, that's all for today.
Hello and welcome back to the final episode of Season 1 of Thanks, That's All For Today with me, your host, Harriette Mullen. Can't believe I've actually just said that. End of Season 1 already. Don't worry though, we'll be back in 2021 with Season 2 and 3 with more incredible guests. You can catch up with any missed episodes from this current season on Red Circle, Spotify and YouTube. But today, episode 7 is with my last fantastic guest, the sensational European, British and world champion, Strictly Champion, style icon and my gorgeous friend, Katya Jones.
Oh, it says recording ... and I was waiting for it to start recording, but I guess that means it's recording.
There's definitely a red dot there.
Okay, good. Fantastic. Good start, babe. Good start for me, isn't it? Good. Strong. Okay, so everybody, thank you so much for listening. I have got an absolute mega babe today. I was thinking of all the words I could use there. I was like icon, queen. Mega babe is the fitting term for this Strictly Champion, fashionista, girl boss, fab friend who has actually helped me out many times when I'm in need. I'm going to talk about that a little bit later. British, European and world champion. I'm pausing for dramatic effect. I feel like I need a drum roll. It's Katya, everybody.
Oh, darling. Well, at least you've done your research, haven't you?
I just took a guess. I was like, she's got to be British, European and world champion.
Multiple
times. No, I'm only joking. No, I did do my research. I couldn't be prouder.
Oh, can I just say I'm really proud of you. Look at you having your own podcast.
Oh, thanks, babe.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So I've known you now for about 4 years. We did a show together about in 2016, wasn't it? Or 2017 or something? Yeah. So it's been ages, and whenever we see each other, we always have like the biggest catch up, don't we?
Yes, but you know, it's really nice, like to have a friend like that. You know, there's no obligations, there's no time scale on it. But whenever we do see each other, it's like we've never, left, and it's a massive catch up, and with the banter, and always. Every now and then, I just like, let me just send a message there. It's like, just thinking about you, it's really nice like that. I really like that.
Oh, I totally agree. And I do feel like as well, because obviously I see, on social media what you're up to or when you're on Strictly or, anytime I see you online, I'm like, feel like I've caught up with you because I can see what you're up to. That's what I love. That's the good side of social media. I feel like, I get to see what you're up to, but it's so nice to see you. You look so well, so beautiful. I've already said about your hair. Yeah. Yes. So obviously you probably won't be able to see us, or you won't. I have dressed up for Katya. I was like, I'm seeing Katya today, the fashion queen. I've got to talk about when we met. So when I first met Katya, I was doing a show. We did Keep Dancing together. It was a very short sort of spell, wasn't it? It was 2 or 3 weeks.
Yes.
And I was just obsessed. At stage door at the end of the night, I was like ready for bed in my pajamas, jacket on. Katya had this blue leather jacket on. I remember this outfit.
Yeah.
From Zara. Oh, it just looked amazing. And I remember being like, how do you look like that after a show? You're going home and you look unbelievable.
Didn't you tell me that time you went, I have the same jacket but in baby pink?
Yes, I have got the jacket in baby pink. Yes.
Oh, that's it. I remember.
Great minds think alike. Yes. I probably bought it because I saw you in it. And also during that run, I remember we had a photographer coming in, shout out Fiona White, and I had forgotten my eyelashes and I was running around. Do you remember? I can't find any eyelashes. And I knocked on your door like, oh my gosh, I've got to ask the world champion, can I borrow some eyelashes? And you were like, of course. And of course you had like the best ones, the eyelure. And you saved me.
I remember.
Do you remember? I was so panicky. It's like I can't.
I
go
remember.
on.
I've been. Oh, didn't I have Crumble in the changing room?
Yeah,
My
you
God.
did.
Well, it was, wasn't it? Crumble was probably barking all over, and you were like, "Can I please have?" But you know what I love? I always say, and a lot of my friends, especially obviously, I'm here without my original family and friends from Russia, and I just love the way whatever it is, universe, life, whatever, it brings people, right people that you connect to your life. I just love that. I absolutely adore it. And you just know, like, oh, you're my type of person. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I felt like that with you for sure. I really felt like we just completely clicked from the beginning.
Yeah. We kind of straight in. We were just like, crazy. Well, she's too. Well, cool.
I remember we went out in Newcastle and we were like both ordered porn star martinis. We're having a photo shoot. It was like we'd known each other for ages. I really felt like that with you, and probably why with the eyelashes I felt like I could come to you, because I just was like, I need somebody lovely. I need to go and find somebody to help me. So thank you for the eyelashes.
You just wanted to sneak into my changing room.
Yeah, I did. To be honest, I wanted to be your part. I was really gutted that they didn't ask me to be dancer in Keep Dancing. I just, I couldn't understand why they hadn't asked me.
But we did lots of backstage dancing too. Let's get loud.
Let's Get Loud is the next thing I've written is Let's Get Loud. Oh, do you remember the bit at the end where she goes,
you didn't know I could do that, did you?
It's so funny. You didn't know I could do that, did you? It's so sassy. I know, because I remember, oh God, there was so many times backstage. I lost a dress one time before I went on for a song.
Also,
and I just looked over like,
that time they were doing da 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 dee da.
Oh yes, yeah, that's it.
One Zumba routine we were doing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved that. It was such a shame. It was such a like short.
It was really fun, and this is obviously the first time, and that was when I heard you sing, and I was like, "Who the hell is this ginger pale girl with the voice like that?" Like, these two things just don't match up, but it's the best thing I've ever seen. Like. Do you know what? Some people, my friend Sasha, you know her.
Yes.
And you, Sasha. Like, and Joe, when I go to see you guys perform, I just can't help it. I get overwhelmed. Tears into my eyes. I'm just like, yeah, that's my friend, everyone. That is my friend. And I'll go around shouting off the rooftops about how amazing you are, honestly.
Oh, and Katya, that's exactly how I feel about you. Anytime I see you on TV or, doing anything to do with dance or even things that you're doing, with your fashion and being fashion conscious. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's my friend. I know that person. I love her. We've got each other Christmas presents.
Yeah, no, I just feel like that about just pure talent. It's just so beautiful inside this gorgeous
Thank you. I feel the exact same about you, honestly. Thank you so much.
I'm getting a bit sick.
Let's play a horrible game. No, I'm joking. So, first of all, how are you?
I am.
Are you all right?
Really good.
Yeah, you seem so well.
Honestly, I'm so well. Physically, mentally, just so happy to be back dancing, obviously, now. But yeah, really, really good. I turned 31 in May.
Woohoo!
30 wasn't great, so that was the year before. So 31st year so far has been wonderful.
Amazing.
And it's really happy. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. I have been so inspired by you during lockdown, and well, now we're in October. I never thought it was going to go on this long, but you have done so much. Like, I've just been keeping up to date with you. You've been tell me about your lockdown venture with the girls, with Joe and Sasha.
I had to actually, on the phone, obviously, scroll through, and I went all the way back, whatever it was, March, and I was like, God, there's like all these stages of the lockdown.
Yeah.
And I forgot already that I did these things in the beginning. It's like a different life.
I know.
when it was like the full lockdown, and I think everybody sort of had the really strict structure to their day. They're like, that's the schedule. I wake up, I work out, I do this, I do that. At this time, I'm going to read. Like, it was like really structured. And then we kind of all got tired of it, threw it out of the window and just did whatever the hell we wanted.
Yeah, we did, didn't we?
And then the social bubble opened up, or support bubble, and this is where I was like, right, well, now I can go and visit Joe and Sash, because I was living close, so I could join their household. And and from then we just it went crazy, and not crazy, but I just never thought anything would come out of the lockdown, which was fine, because I was actually really grateful to have all this time, because my year was supposed to be just chock-a-block.
Yeah, because you were supposed to be doing your Viva La Divas show.
Viva La Divas, the Pro Tour, like non-stop, and suddenly I had all this time on hand. And when I realized that this is actually what you wanted, breathe and take time for yourself. So I did, and I started learning Spanish. I learned Spanish, then Spanish wasn't enough, so I took Lithuanian on as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and then obviously doing things with Otis and Karen, the home festival, and I was doing outside with people, so that took a lot of time, which was great, playing piano, just doing things for me.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I was feeling so happy, going along walks in the woods. It really, really centered me and like grounded. It was lovely. And then when I was ready to go again, the girls came up with idea. They called me. I remember FaceTime. They're like, "Are you in or are you out?" And I was like, "Of course I'm in."
So in, yeah.
And yes. So the idea came up because, like what you said, we just felt like we were being quite productive in the lockdown for one or another. And I just all of us saw people struggling, or people always ask, like, how do you manage?
How do you stay productive?
How do you find motivation? How can I do it? And we were like, why don't we share race with people? So we decided to run this 7-day course, 7 days to find your fire beyond lockdown and Pyre. Obviously going from lockdown, but preparing yourself for life after that, and giving you that motivation. And obviously it's not forever, but once it's out, you're ready, you've got everything to go. And we didn't expect it's going to go down so well.
It was so popular.
Course. It was just it was really inspiring for us. Like, by giving people, it gave us back so much more. It was so rewarding, and obviously gave us even more energy. And then we did another one, which was even more successful, and then led us to write a book.
I know. I remember seeing that. I saw it on social media. Like, the book was coming out. You did book signings. Congratulations. That is such an amazing thing to come out of lockdown.
Right? And we were just talking about it with the girls not long ago. We were like, can you remember, like, we did everything in lockdown, from being completely lazy, doing nothing. We were like, okay, we're going to work out loads. There was a period where we were all just working out. Then we were just like, oh, let's just have Zoom parties all the time. And then we did the courses where we were working really, really hard. Like, the whole week we would start at 9 and finish, like, last lesson would finish at 9:30. Like, honestly,
my god.
And then the book, when we were writing the book, it was such a quick turnaround. And it was like sleepless nights. We would just laugh. We would like write, because we had to keep reading it back to make sure.
Of course.
Correct. And we were taking turns. It would be like 5 a.m. in the morning, and we're reading this inspirational book, and it's like, we believe you can do this. And then the background, you just hear Sasha going. So there we are in October.
And here we are, October. I bought Christmas wrapping paper today because I am just...
No, you did not.
I did. I just thought, you know what? It's Christmas now. I can't focus on anything else. I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to start celebrating Christmas. Right, Katya, I'm just going to shut my window because the cars outside are really bugging me and I can't ask them to stop. I did tell everybody in the world, so one sec.
I fell off my chair.
You didn't? What happened?
I just went to take something on my bed and I just completely
Hi everybody, just a little hello from me, editing me. Just a little disclaimer to say that Katya was not injured during the making of this podcast. She was absolutely fine after she fell off her chair, I can confirm.
So, you recently made your acting debut in The Wizard of Oz as the iconic role of Glinda at the new theatre in Peterborough. How was that?
Well, let me tell you,
Oh,
I absolutely loved it.
I could tell you did.
Oh my God.
From all your posts. Was it
Listen.
like anything you've ever done before?
First of all, it's nothing that I've done before. And first of all, I've never seen a panto in my life before I stepped on the stage.
Oh my God. What did you think? Like, what were you expecting?
No, but I knew all the gags. Like, I've been here like over 10 years. Like, I knew the most always behind you, like all the gags. I kind of got the vibe. I totally got what it was about, you know. And what do you think? It's over the top, loud, shouting, entertaining, and just being yourself. Of course, it's perfect for me.
And the costumes are fab. Yeah.
The costumes, like I called my costume a perfect combination of a Russian doll and a Statue of Liberty.
Oh my gosh, that is a really good comparison.
Isn't it? I had this wonderful pink massive dress that like could totally be something out of the traditional Russian costume with this massive crown, which I absolutely adored. I have a video of me trying to get in a car because they sent me to the local mall to
oh my gosh
in the full costume, and I had to get in the car in this thing. I mean, my stick was about 2 foot tall or whatever. My crown was just brilliant, but I loved it.
Yeah, it's such an uplifting show, isn't it? I mean, The Wizard of Oz itself is just so iconic.
Yeah.
But
it's not traditional panto, as I understand, but you know what? We made it so good.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, the characters as well are perfect. They lend themselves perfectly to panto. You looked like you had the most amazing time. Like, I mean, it's so brilliant panto for the audience, for the people in it. It's so uplifting. It's so fun. And it's such a magical time of year. I love doing shows at Christmas. The Christmas Eve performance I always find really magical. And especially with all the children. I don't know if you had lots of schools come. I imagine you had lots of schools coming. They really get into it. Families have been going for years and years. So it is
we also had a
relaxed
occasion. Performance, you know, like
amazing.
With like hard of hearing, we had one for hard of hearing with like people signing. We also had a relaxed performance with like autistic people, and
amazing.
They were the best. I swear.
Honestly, my cousin is autistic, and I just think the relaxed performances are the best idea ever, because when he comes to see a show that I'm in, like when he came to see Boogie Nights, when the YMCA came on, he was up dancing. He was like, I remember one of the characters walked in towards me, came in towards me on the stage, and I just heard him in the audience go, "Not again." Just so interactive. It's what everybody's thinking, but such a lovely, I can imagine
rewarding experience.
Yeah, definitely.
It was the same. We had to stop in the beginning. They were like, just to introduce the characters, we had to just line up on stage.
Wow.
Say, "Hi, I'm Katya. I'm going to be playing the role of Linda," because so it doesn't scare them. There's the real. But you know what? As soon as we all walked on, they saw the Wicked Witch. They all started going. We don't even got to do anything. And I was like, well, they don't need explanation.
No, they don't. No.
They were like,
oh my God.
Really,
what an amazing thing to do. I'm so pleased that they've brought that in, because it's so important, and it needs to be. Theatre needs to be all inclusive of all kinds of audiences, and especially for a pantomime, that just must be magical. So I have a game for you.
I love games.
I've got a quick fire game for you. So basically, this is called like audition styles. So I'm going to ask you which one you prefer. So like the first question is open versus closed. So do you like the open auditions, or do you like...
Obviously I come from a different world. So I haven't actually done that many auditions in my life.
But what's the great thing about you? You've been on the other side of the panel as well, which I think is why it's good for us to talk about that, because I think it's great to have that input from the other side of the panel.
But if you've had competitions I used to do, it is like audition every single time,
Exactly.
The audition, the form, the theatre people would know. I've not done many times, but like every job is audition.
Definitely. And I thought as well with your competitions and, the TV shows that you've done, there's an element of that kind of putting your best foot forward and being judged in a public space. I mean, you are basically doing an audition every week on Strictly. You're training every week. You're getting judged by a panel and by the public. So although it's not like a straightforward audition, walk into a room, sing, dance, act, leave, you are definitely being in that like judgment arena. So I'll go with the second one, actually, because I think this will apply more to you. Recorded versus live.
Live.
Oh, live.
The energy of their live audience, just the things
Can't
come
beat
out
it.
that you didn't even know, right?
Can't beat it. Panel versus one person.
Ooh. Okay, if I'm honest, probably one person, because what happens when you have a panel, your mind sometimes can go try and please everybody. And that's the danger zone.
Yeah.
Where one person, I think you will stick more to your own gut and just be like, well, only one person to do it for.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you. Do you prefer being the auditionee or the auditioner?
I love doing the audition, whatever that word, you can say it for me.
I don't even think it's a real word. I've not invented it, but I just suddenly thought, is it audition
or employee?
Yeah. Employee. I think that's where I got it from. Auditionee, auditioner.
Auditionee. I like to be auditionee.
Auditionee, so do I.
You know what? I tell you, because I like everybody when I audition. I'm like, I just like everyone.
I am terrible. I actually give it away, because if I see someone, I'm like, well done, good girl, good boy. Like how patronizing. Anyway, I've got one for you. Singing or acting call? I mean, everyone else is getting singing or dancing, but I imagined that you would prefer a dance call.
Yes, but acting. So singing and acting, I quite enjoy it. I do overact as a dancer, but I quite enjoy it. Dancer as well, like, I remember it was fun. Like, director would give me notes how to do it. It was really fun or like I would read the script, but then he would explain what he actually meant in it, and things like that, or the way he would like me to say. And I love that.
There's so many different ways, isn't there, to interpret something?
Right?
Do you prefer TV or theatre?
Oh, that's a tough one.
You have to choose, or the Zoom end calls. I mean, the Zoom call ends.
I think it's theatre, just because, again, the live essence to it.
Live element. I love that. I thought you'd say TV, but what about, though, with Strictly, though, you've got a live audience, so that's kind of both.
Yeah. No, of course. The TV is great because you like... see, it's very different. You know when the camera's on, so you can pick your nose at one, and then give them the best smile ever because camera's on you. Where live theatre, you engaged all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time.
And like you can't even, you're seen on stage the whole time. People are watching. You've got to give it. Somehow you always find that extra energy.
Yeah,
like, you could be the most knackered, you've done like a tour, 60 shows, and you still come on stage and the audience just gives you that extra life. And I have no idea where it comes from. Yeah. But that's why I always say to like people who tie, I was like, that if needed, you will find that extra fire. So come on, bring it up, you've got it in you. It does something to you.
Definitely, especially because the people there have paid to be there, or they've come all the way from all over. I think that's what gets exciting. And as soon as you walk on stage at like the 5 before the curtains open and you hear the audience, that always makes me really excited because I'm like,
Exciting, nervous.
there's people out there. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, just you talking about it.
I know, I feel like I'm getting really like emotional thinking about that 5-minute call, and everybody's like, have you set all your costumes on the right side of the stage? Yeah. Okay, have you got anyone in tonight? I know, I miss that so much.
Oh.
Do you prefer harsh notes from a creative team or creative member?
I don't really need to hear
or review?
Harsh criticism. I love it. You tell me what's wrong and I'll fix it. I'll just don't even go around it. Just straightforward.
Tell me
what's wrong with me. Can't change my face, but the rest of it is fine.
Are you happier to be the performer or the choreographer?
Currently, the performer, but I'm 100%. I can feel I love choreographing for Strictly, for example, and all that, and I feel it's growing in me.
You're an incredible choreographer.
I really love doing it, but I think not on a scale that the choreographers must deliver like the big data shows just yet, but it's definitely growing in me because I love that. But currently I'm still got the fire to go on stage and just give my all.
And obviously I choreograph all your dances, so
I don't need to. Exactly.
No, you don't need to. Don't put me out of a job, please. So my question for you now, before we do another little game, is how you got into becoming a professional dancer.
So basically, there was this girl. She's called Harriette, and
now you're giving away all our secrets.
So yeah, got a knock on the door, and she was like, "I'm the best well-known choreographer. I'd like to offer you a job." No. I wish that was the story though.
So do I. Then we would have known each other for, so many years. I'm not going to give away our ages. 10 years, just 10 years, yeah.
Well, unfortunately, I've been dancing for over 20 years now, which is...
Wow, that's amazing.
In fact, yesterday, my mummy, she was doing my mum was doing a live Instagram as a guest. I was so proud of her. But the woman who was taking, interviewing her was my first ever dance teacher.
Wow.
And they were remembering how my mum brought me in. I was about 6 years old. And the thing is, I think maybe back then, but also in Russia, ballroom dance is quite popular. It's like number one, almost after school activity. So once you...
Wow, really?
Yeah, it's super popular. It's almost like part of curriculum, like every school would have classes and stuff. And as soon as you start, you're a competitor. So it's not like, I'm just going every Friday social dancing. It's not. It's like, well, can you do cyclo side cha-cha-cha? You're off to do competition,
Wow.
So pretty much from the age of 6, I've become competitive dancer. And obviously, the whole thing, and I ended up being here in England.
Amazing.
And winning all these things that you've named in the beginning. And
yes.
Who knew?
Amazing. Did you know when you started at 6 that was something you wanted to do, or did you just do it because that was what most people
I did it because everybody did it at the beginning. But I also did piano, I played a bit of piano.
Amazing.
Piano, I was learning languages, I was doing all crafts and arts and painting and singing, believe it or not.
Yes, girl.
I did all of that. And then I think I was not bad at all of them. I enjoyed them all, but I think teachers and my mom, and I was enjoying it. They were like, I think she's got something there. She's finding it quite easy in a way, like
it's coming to her naturally.
And my mom loved obviously making all the dresses for me.
I bet they were incredible.
She always made herself. This is where I probably learned it as well.
Wow, of course, because you are so creative. The things that you make, like the denim jackets that you customize and the shoes.
I think it all comes from back then when my mum was making costumes, and she would always sort of like incorporate me, like ask me what I liked and show me things. And so, and then it just ended up that I was I've given up everything else and just carried on dancing.
Focused
and then
on that.
started going to more like a bigger championships, like in other cities or other towns, and then we started going other countries, so it started expanding. And then when I finally started, that's with Neil, we moved to England, and that was a really, obviously this was probably the biggest step in my, and also for my family to let me go. That means it just shows how much faith they had in me.
Definitely.
Not just as a dancer that have a future, but as a person, and to let me go into unknown country. They were not with me. My dad came with me for the first week and then sort of checked everything out and left. And ever since I was traveling,
and that's such a it's a calculated risk in a way, because I know you're so talented, and so you were going to be destined for great things, and you trained for so long, and you were so successful with your competitions, but it's such a risk, isn't it?
And exactly, and like you said, it is a risk. And do you know, when you said it, I actually started my thinking process. I'm thinking, nobody knew. My parents didn't know. I didn't know that it was going to work out. It might have not.
Do you know, it's because they believe in you and you believed in yourself, and it's not a risk in terms of a negative thing, but it's that leap of faith, and that you have to do that in your career, my career. You have to go out your comfort zone.
But I think the fact that I actually didn't see it as a risk, quite frankly, and it's only when you kind of said it, and I was like, oh yeah, it could have not worked out. What would I do then? Maybe that's actually was a good thing, and that allowed me to do it.
Oh yeah.
As a risk. I didn't sit there and go, right, well, let's wait if things go right and if things go wrong. Because at that point I might have gone, do you know what? Let's play it safe. And I was listening to Jim Carrey podcast. He's amazing. And he said his dad taught him that we can easily fail at the thing that we don't love doing. So why not just give a shot to do what we love? It's true. You could be calculating, thinking, right, well, that's going to be safe. I might not enjoy it, but I've got, and then you're going to completely fail at it. And you're going to take it anywhere where you could have taken a shot.
I think it's that youth, the idea of being like
not afraid, back a lot. And
you've got no dependence, you've got no sort of sacrifices to make. It just seems so exciting. And my mum moved to America when she was 23, and my nanny still like, oh, my Trisha, she went to America at 23, 24, but it was the best decision for her, and ultimately that's made her life the way it is today, because she went from Salisbury to America. So I think
totally,
it's all about taking.
I think you should be prepared for it. You should do everything you possibly can to sort of succeed at that thing, and put your full passion into it, but do take that leap, but be fully prepared for it.
Yes, of course.
When the chance comes along, you grab it, and it all.
Well, that's why I said to you about calculated risk, because it wasn't like a flippant, oh, I'm just going to go. It was like everything set up for you, and you have that ability to do it. So it's not like, oh, today I'm just going to go to
I'm not even a ball dancer, but you know what? I'm gonna do it.
Why not? So what would you be doing now, do you think, if you weren't a dancer?
Well, I was quite good at school and at uni. I was always still student, all that boring stuff. So I would definitely, in a way, this is tough. I always loved fashion, that. And even though I'm kind of on the other side of it now, quite frankly, I've switched sides, but I still love fashion. And I loved always designing. And even in the beginning, when we were competitors, I used to design on dresses. Coming up with ideas. So I think something along those lines, but this is with my current mentality, because I really truly believe the fact that I've moved countries, that I've traveled all around the world, I've seen I've met so many different people. I've seen so many different cultures. It has really changed my mentality and opened up, my mind to more things. Where I think if I would have been still in Russia and not gone to England, not become a dancer, and just probably did studying really hard, and see, I don't know if I would have done those creative things. I might have gone more safe way, what we were just talking, got like a degree in something and then become specialist in the area.
Wow.
I was always good with languages. I always thought I might be like a translator or stuff like that. So it's hard to now.
So you could have literally gone in any area, really.
Yeah.
Because you're a fantastic pianist as well.
Yeah, no, this I finished quite early on when dancing took over. I finished that, so I don't think that would have become my profession. It would definitely help, like even now with dancing and being able just to hear music and sometimes play when in one of the Strictly episodes in the beginning, I got a script that says Katya playing the Strictly tune, and I was for God's sake, I don't even know how. It's like 10 p.m. Hilarious. But yeah, so I don't think piano would have been my career, but probably fashion is a big dance because I love that design. And I even studied it here in England. I did like a course on the design. That was really cool, and it's something I'd love to do more, but now on the sustainable side of it.
I was going to say the sustainable side of fashion, that would be amazing. I did have an inkling you might say some kind of fashion, because I could so see you doing that. But you're a world champion, so you don't need to worry about that. So I want to ask you a couple of questions more in like a quick fire game kind of setting. So are you an early bird or a leave it to the last minute for an audition?
Oh, for the audition. No, if it's audition day, I'm early, I'm prepared. I need to be prepared. Like I'll be early, I'll be fresh, I'll be warmed up, I'll be if it's singing audition, never. But no, definitely, I have to go in so prepared. I love it, over prepared. I just love it. I can, if needed, turn tables or improvise if something goes wrong, or sometimes wing it if needed. Something I can. I'm comfortable with that. But I just love
early bird,
being professional. So I'll be up early, everything done that I can sit down and and be calm, not in a rush. But you never know. However, I also stay really late.
Oh, really?
Before. Yeah, I'm quite a late person. I kind of get creative juices flowing at night for some reason.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm way more productive in the evenings.
Yeah. But then also mornings are quite good, so you end up being really late and then up really early. But
amazing. So you're an early bird and preparation is key. Have you got an audition outfit? Or do you theme your audition outfits to the audition? Yeah.
This is really bad, I think, sometimes, but I do.
I love it. I think you've got to.
But you've got to feel like the part, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely. So if I went in for Alphabet, I would go full green with the wig and the black witch's hat. No.
It's really funny. I'll tell you this. One of the auditions I did for proper musical theatre, like this never happened to me before, was for King and I.
Amazing.
And I've never been to an audition. My agent said, just go as experience, we just want to see, they want to see you. It wasn't a closed audition, but they knew I was coming because I was already on Strictly then. And I was like, well, what do I wear? And, I didn't know what it's going to be, what style or anything. So I just went, well, I'm just going to go as me. I've got to feel comfortable. It's got to be me. So turn up, and all these amazing ballet girls doing their leg behind the ear, stretches the toe, the plies, and I literally turn up in the leotard and fringe skirts, right? Leotard and fringe, and I'm in the corner doing my cucaracha rumba walks, warming up my hips, and I'm like, well, can't do that, but you know what? You can't do the shimmies either. So
No.
you know what? It was great. Honestly, I was
amazing.
Everything. I was like, I said, it's just gonna be me. You
Yeah,
know,
of course.
Special, gonna be me. They either like it or they don't like it, you know.
Yeah.
And the choreographer was actually like, "Oh my god, you're smashing it, aren't you?" And I was just like, "Pow, pow!"
I love that.
Take the fringe, and I mean, I got, I think, to the final round. It just
Oh
never
my
happened.
gosh, amazing.
It was
Amazing.
fun.
So the key for you there is just be yourself.
Yeah, be yourself. But like, if you feel like you got to be the part, you got to feel the part. Like,
And is that a
did
group audition? Was that a group one?
Yeah, it was like,
So
all
you've
this
got to
stuff.
stand out. Yeah, you've got to stand out.
Totally. My red lip was on, leg warmers over the knee fringe, and I was like, yes.
I wish I'd seen that outfit. I wish I'd seen that. I bet you looked amazing. And it's all about how you feel, isn't it? Because you can, if you go in feeling like, yeah, I'm prepared and I look the part and I feel the part, then you're going to be confident. If you, I've turned up to a dance call they asked for heels and I wore like a stiletto, like a night out shoe, and everyone was in a character block shoe. I was like, oh, right. Oops.
Oh no, but I bet you still did it all, didn't you?
Well, I went for it, but didn't get the role. Are you a tell-all about the audition, or are you secretive? So like, do you go, I've got an audition for this, or are you very secret until you get the part?
I really always want to tell everyone.
Yeah, so do I.
I think it's about a circle of people that you can immediately go, oh my god, and then like let it all out. Do you know what I mean? But I do take it seriously, like that if you can't, you can't. Like, especially now, Strictly and all that. Like, I do take it very seriously. But I know there's just a circle of people that you
can tell. Yeah, core group. Yeah.
Yeah, and because it's a thing that you just want to release it, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. You just want to tell people. I always say to my like my students that I teach, when you get into the professional world, you almost celebrate an audition. Like when you're younger, auditions are given at school, or everybody gets to audition. But now, I've texted you before and been like, oh my god, I've got an audition for that, and I haven't been in the room yet. But it's like celebrating that moment. Do you have anybody that you call straight after an audition, or is there like a ritual couldn't speak there, a ritual that you do before or after? No,
I just do it, just go in, do it. Like I said, prepared. Like few friends that I always like tell them what's happening so that I'm prepared. It's like, talking fruit is always like almost you're already half prepared.
Yeah.
But, like, I help lots of my friends, like I help Sasha loads. She would always like FaceTime me just before, like she'll set everything up, her hair, how lighting, and I'll be like, right, I think you should dim it down a bit, or like I'll always like,
amazing
help.
So you help with self-tape things?
Always. I'm always the voice at the back, and I always overact, and she has to stop and go, stop acting. And I'm like, but I'm your father. And she's like, stop acting.
I saw that on self-tape outtakes. I saw that was so funny. Oh, I love it though. You commit to it. That's great.
Commit. I'm always like, send me what you look like, what you're gonna wear, right? And then she calls me like, right, this is all set up. I'm like, am I good? I was like, yeah, great. Put some more lipstick on. Like, we always do that. It's brilliant.
So for you, because obviously leading on to my next question, because you have experience of being on the panel as much as you've had experience being, being the auditionee, what is it like being on the panel?
It's completely different to what you think on the other side.
Really?
It's like, so I've done different things. If you will, like judging. Yeah, I've judged dance after being a dancer. I've also auditioned people for our show. There's a proper people come into the room, they bring their CVs and whatever they're called. And it's completely, I remember doing it for the first time. I was like, if only I knew, I would have danced or did it completely differently. It's such a great experience to do it, just to see what it actually is like. Yeah, it's great to understand the mentality, how it works.
Do you have like a brief for each show that you want people to fill? Is it like, so we are looking for a person that looks like this, or a person that's got this credit, or a person with this experience?
I can't really say because I didn't do that many of this type, but we were just, for example, when I was a judge and dancing, you just, also it's such a subjective thing, isn't it?
Yeah, that's why I asked, because it is.
It is, and that's the thing to remember, like it's often nothing personal. It's just sometimes like, well, I just like the red dress and he liked the yellow dress or whatever, you know, it's not personal at all. And it's also really quick, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can make up your mind, or the judges, the auditioneer, they make, I think it's seconds, it's split seconds. Wow. Yes or no. It's so quick.
I suppose if somebody walks in and you take an instant like to something about them, you're going to wish them well in your mind, aren't you? If somebody walked in and you're like, wow, I love the look, or wow, you are what we've been looking for, you're not going to be watching them thinking,
you're going to pay attention.
Yeah. So maybe that it's kind of a little bit of a subliminal, that first kind of, I don't know, 5 seconds is very,
And that's why, like you said, like I said, I like to dress up as a thing, or have just something there, like I said, if you go for an alpha bar, maybe I'm not going to go green, but I'll probably have a green top on.
Probably
that's what I'll do. Just in my head, it's gonna send that message, that vibe to them immediately, you know. Or I'll turn up on a broom. No. I'll just walk in. Oh, sorry guys, I'm just gonna sweep the floor. There's something spilled there.
So sorry. Sorry, public transport was a nightmare today. So I took the broom.
Exactly.
I think that's really good, and I think it's really important that you said it's not personal, because so many times when you walk into an audition room as the auditionee, you're thinking, well, I definitely am. I can't speak for everyone. Oh my God, did they hate me? They've just looked at each other. They don't like my CV. They don't like where I've trained. Is it my outfit? Is it my shoes? Is it this? And it could be as well that they've just found someone that they need before you, and they're still talking about them, and they just need to see you as a formality, or something's made them laugh from before. I
think it's really important to remember that. I think it's really important. And I think simple as being nice. You know, you will always, and because even if you didn't get it, or just leave a good taste in everybody's mouth after, they're like, you know, that guy was actually really nice. And then next time they see you or whatever, or you come across the casting director in a bar at the theatre or something, they'll be like, she was really lovely, you know. And it just, I think it's so important just to be nice, genuinely nice, to everybody. I think that's really, really important.
And what do you look for personally? Is it really kind of subjective to what you do? So every time is different, but is there something you look for when you're on the panel or you're judging?
Yeah, I think it's authenticity and just, technique and all that, but just someone doing it with their heart, you know. You always know when it's done just movements or just words, you know, if you sing or you act, but when it's done with passion, with the heart, like I just love that. I think you can't buy that.
No.
I think these sort of artists are very valuable, those who do it with passion from the heart, that you can chuck them into this environment, that environment, pay them or don't pay them, they will still give you their heart and soul, you know.
Definitely. And do you ever, as a panel member of, you know, maybe your show or a tour or something, do you ever think of it as deeply as, could I get on with this person in a show? Or could I tour with, if you are touring?
To tour with a dickhead.
Nobody does. No.
100%. I even remember when me and Neil were being, they were just like, well, we want a cast that we will have a great time with. It's going to be easy to work with. We know them. They're not difficult. They're great team players, you know, all things like that. Yeah, if it's a short-term thing, maybe 1-2 shows, you're like, oh, okay, I can deal with that person. They're just really good, you know. But if it's like tour and long-term, 100%. And I know for a fact that everybody, because we do have to spend all the time together. And I know for a fact that always says, oh, I loved that tour, the group was so amazing. It's the memories after that you're like, oh, that group was such a good tour, it just was so easy to work with them, and things like that. Definitely. But I also love very professional. You must be professional. It's a good balance, actually, being sort of friendly, but being very professional. I would like to say I'm always very professional, like being on time, knowing your stuff, knowing your lines, listening to, it's like all things like that.
So our last kind of like quick fire round is just about funny things or stressful things that have happened. Have you ever forgotten your choreography?
We've all done that, haven't we? We've all done it.
Oh, not me, the professional.
Yeah, we're just great at covering up and not covering up, but
because you have to learn so much, like so much.
Let me just think of an example. There must have been like, on tour. Oh, there must have been that. And the thing is, we are such a good group. We'll probably just like point at each other and laugh. Like,
definitely.
Like, it's just, there's no like bad feelings about it. And we've all done that. Or you just daydreamed suddenly or something.
Yeah, well, it must be muscle memory as well. Because I remember watching and Keep Dancing when we did the first leg of the tour. It was like 8 shows a week, and it was number after number after number after number. And I remember watching it thinking, how do you remember all those steps? It's almost like it's in your body.
Yeah, when we tour, like obviously it's so in you that you sometimes sort of relax, but then that's when it slips away, isn't it? When you're like, I'm gonna
it's a Wednesday afternoon.
There's definitely have been moments, and then we'll always laugh about it, but you just like pick up, you look at the other person next to you, like, oh, okay, it's that. But we've all done that. But that's why we're professionals. We just pick right up, or we cover it up, or we make it look like everybody else was wrong. That's what
would you do that in an audition? Like, have in an audition you just carry on, or
I just commit 100%. Yeah.
Amazing. Have you ever felt like in an audition you've ever embarrassed yourself? You're probably too professional for these questions. I definitely have.
Probably, yeah. I mean, I would probably just like turn up wearing something random, like ears and yellow coats and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, well, you like me or you don't. You know what I mean?
I know, exactly.
My sort of like loudness and in colours and brightness, that's just my quirk. So that's how I do. Like, even I remember, so I was assistant on Strictly before I was even a pro. And what happens on the filming day, everybody wears black. Yeah, so if you're backstage so you can't pop out like even briefly, like swipes across, like everybody wears black. Like apparently that's the rule, which I didn't know.
Oh my God.
We turn up on Saturday, and I kid you not, this is what I had: leopard shoes, leopard tights, pink fur massive coat, pink hat with ears.
Oh my God.
And I go down the corridor, and somebody just said, and I was like, okay, fine. And then I got told they were meant to wear all black.
Oh no. Oh my God.
I just stood there like at the back, like literally.
It's not even like you had like something, coloured but a bit subtle. Bright pink fur coat, leopard print. Good.
Leopard print, yeah.
Good.
And when I did my first year, when it was then the next year I joined as a pro, I sit down, I remember, in a makeup chair for the first time, and it was Bryony. She's like, oh hello, like you knew, oh great. And she said, did I see you before? I was like, well, I was his assistant last year. She went, oh, you're the girl that wears all these colourful clothes, aren't you?
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that was me. That was me. You've got to stand out there, and it's a form of expression, isn't it, really?
For me, that's what it is. I just love it.
I did actually peer over at some notes once in an audition. That's awful, isn't it, to admit? But I used to have really good eyesight. I don't anymore. So anyone auditioning me now, I can't even see you. But I remember looking over and it was like spaceman trousers. Good.
Oh God. But you know what?
Spaceman trousers.
It's amazing. I get things like that all the time.
So, final question from this section. Have you ever sacrificed something major to attend an audition or a competition?
Well,
we're always missing things. So
yeah, always. Okay. Before, when we competed, we never had Christmas, like family Christmas at all. We would be somewhere competing or doing shows or demonstrations or anything. However, one thing from the moment I moved to England, I said to Neil, one thing I cannot miss is New Year's with my family. It's always been a tradition. I have never missed one, and I will not, because I remember the first year, it came up like a big show, you could do a gig. Yeah. And I was like, sorry, no, like I'm going home. And ever since, for 30 years, I have not missed a single New Year until last year. First time in 30 years, I have missed New Year's with my family because the last show was a New Year, like 31st December.
Oh no!
So I FaceTime. My show finished at 9:45, which is midnight in Russia.
Oh my gosh!
We FaceTime my family, and we kind of did a countdown, but on FaceTime. That was first time in 30 years.
Wow! Oh my goodness! It's.
And I actually it was a big deal, you know.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, okay, but I really loved obviously Panther and that, and I feel like it's a good thing as well. Like I feel like I'm a little bit less disconnected to it now. So if anything important would come up next time, I'd be like, well, I've done it before, so maybe I can consider doing it. But I think what's also important, is for people around you to understand. I think there are sometimes people who make you feel like bad about it, or like not even audition, but maybe I just need to prepare. I need time to go and study or to do. And sometimes there are people who can get a little bit in the way and make you feel maybe guilty or whatever. And I think it's really important that people around you understand how much it means to you.
Definitely.
And, you know, things like really important.
Definitely. And I think people understanding that you can, you know, at a drop of a hat, there can be an audition, or there can be a recall, or there can be 2 recalls on one day, or there can be, and you're like, you know, trying to plan ahead is so difficult, because I remember doing an audition once, and the girl that was auditioning with me had to fly home from her honeymoon to audition. And it's just those kind of, that's another like risk, because if she didn't go, she might have got it, and if she went, she might have sacrificed the honeymoon. But it's like, what is more important? And you're so right, because if she was with another person who, you know, her husband didn't understand, then she wouldn't have gone for that audition. So you are right, it's who you have around you, whether it's your family or your partner or friends, because there are those times where you're just like, no, I literally, I'm so sorry, but 12 o'clock last night, I can't do it. So before we go, I would love to know, you can choose from the list either your most memorable moments on stage, either your funniest or your proudest moment.
For me, like, there's so many proud moments, because I think my current job is so rewarding in that way. Taking someone from zero to hero, like, you know, it's so rewarding. So I feel so much pride every time. But like things like happen, but then at the same time, I remember we would when we used to compete, would work in China a lot, and we did shows loads in these massive arenas. I was sat there. First of all, it was already a mission to try and speak English to them and explain when they need to start our music for when we begin the dance. And so standing there, music's not starting. We're standing there. Music's not starting. The music starts, but halfway through. So it's like they probably didn't do the volume. So we were like, no, again, no. So they're like, okay. So this start again. So here we go, in a position. And then suddenly I feel like this water starts dropping on me. And I'm like, what's going on? So look up, the roof is completely leaking. by
Oh
this.
my God, no.
It's coming. At this point, I just start laughing. I was like, this couldn't go any worse. Like, I was just laughing. He tried to play music about 5 times. We're like, no, again.
No.
It's coming down, raining. We're completely soaking wet. Like, it's just, it's all
And
sorts.
did you just carry on, or what happened? Yeah, just carried on in the rain, in the pouring water, halfway through the music.
Wherever he managed to play because he couldn't work it out. It's just,
Oh my God.
I showed the video where I completely fall over, and so the video goes like that. It's not an honor dance, but it's presentation into the final. So the
Right.
this, and we come out and we do our samba, and there's this bit where Neil sort of like pulls my hips back, and I have to like run backwards like that, and he pulls my hips. But the force gone so much that I literally went woo, and I start falling, and I go boom, right? But all you see, then the shot goes sort of blank, and the next thing you see, you just see 2 of my feet suddenly appear, and I was going ta 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 with my feet. I was like, well, I'm on the floor.
What can you do?
I just gotta like stall it out.
Yes.
Audience just like went crazy,
This is Oh my God, amazing. This is the thing with you, Katya. You're so professional that if something goes wrong, you're like, carry on. What can I do in your mind? I think it's probably because you're such a great choreographer as well.
In our mind, and this is again what you said, because maybe we don't talk about it, people expect perfection in everything.
Yeah.
Right? And it really isn't. Like I find it a little bit similar when I teach dancers about like balance. We're never on balance when we dance. We're constantly sort of catching our body weight and finding it. We're never 100% on balance that we can't follow, unless we're like squashed between the 2 brick walls, and we just we never, and we're always sort of in search of that. And it's the same, like we're never perfect. We're always different. You wake up today or tomorrow or 5 minutes later, we're different. Like it's never going to be the same. Same with your performance, whatever it is that you're doing. So it's like, it's not going to be perfect, but I think it's much worse to make it feel awkward. And like, oh my God, I just want to hide. I've just gone wrong. Or it's everybody in the room just going to start feeling really awkward.
Exactly. You're making the other people feel awkward.
Yes, because you are totally, as a performer or whatever you're doing, in charge of energy in the room and people's reactions. That's what we do. We're basically triggering people's emotions and reactions. So that's the moment for you to just go turn it into a joke or just make it. It's like a bit like panto. Like my crown was falling over completely. At one point.
Oh no.
And so when the wizard handles to the lion the courage and all that. So the twist in our panto was that I was the wizard, the Glinda is the wizard, so I had the goodies and my crown, because it was so big, like I said, like Statue of Liberty, and I couldn't fix it at this point because I had to change really quickly into the walk on. To just feel it's going like that, when you just forward and back, back. It keeps going back, and I keep just having to sort of snap it back in. So Lion comes in, and I'm like, Lion, don't you see? And I meant to say, don't you see? The courage you were looking for was inside you all along. That's what I meant to say.
Lion,
don't you see? My crown is falling off. And I just had to like take a moment to really like fix it on. I was like, oh.
They would have loved that though. That's so in keeping with the theme. I think when things go wrong as well, I when I did a show last year, I had an umbrella routine, which you probably are so like, what it's like with props.
I was talking the other day how hard it is dancing with an umbrella, especially.
I had this amazing choreo with an umbrella, and it was like a commercial kind of style. And saying that, like, I know, I'm not really sure, but I just sung, and then I got thrown an umbrella, and I had to do. It was all like dun 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 dun, and it was all on the beat. And then I had to like move it around my head as I was turning it, and I fully dropped it. But because my character was an absolute like diva, I just looked at it on the floor, looked at the audience, and I just kicked it away. And nobody like had people in that night. I said, what did you think of that umbrella routine? They were like, it was so great when you dropped it and kicked it away and you just walked off like you didn't care. And I was like,
yeah,
oh,
like
that's
somebody's
good.
gonna pick it up.
Yeah, because I think if I'd picked it up, it would have looked like I dropped it.
Yeah, well, if you like snap your finger, you come and get it.
That's
like
what
that.
I did. Yeah. So that one of the dancers, lovely Josh, he came forward and he had to. I used to have to throw it to him anyway, so it was covered well. But I think what you were saying about making people feel awkward, I was in control of that situation, and if I'd picked it up, I think people would go, "She's just dropped that."
Yeah, I just remember another one. It was Strictly Professionals tour last year, which unfortunately didn't happen or got postponed for next year. And I had this moment where every pro talked about different things. And again, because I'm so over the top dramatic, I was like, my thing was doing everything is very dramatic. And it's all like a cabaret style. And one of our favorite weeks is the musicals week, you know, ba-da-ba, boom. Then it'll be like drums.
Yeah.
And I have to drop on the chair, and then we love to dress up and play the characters and getting all dramatic. And then, speaking of which, dramatic, me never. And then I have to like get up, turn around, and then go to the back of the chair and I put my leg on, so it's like bah, bah, turn around, ha, yeah. Every time it's gone perfect, and I always joked like, oh my god, one day it's gonna fall, one day it's gonna fall. No, perfect. Wait until London Palladium, of course. London Palladium, first show, Katya goes, dramatic, me, never, da-da-da, boom, chair goes, I go. So it was, you know, it was like,
oh my god, oh no, your foot went through it, kind of thing.
It just, as I put the weight, like the chair started tilting, but I had to go with it, and it was just ugly. It was ugly as anything. No way of sort of making it look like it's supposed to be, because me on the stage in the spotlight, no one else. I just went, well, normally it goes much better than that. You know, it's just like, give me a 5, 6, 7, and I like did it again, and the drum did it again.
Amazing. See, that comes with experience, doesn't it? Because you're that's you being a showwoman. I'm going to take control of this situation. That is amazing.
But honestly, I did still feel like, oh my god,
poor thing, Katya. So I just love to know, out of your, the actual few auditions that you have done, what has been your favorite one? Like, what was the loveliest thing about it, or something you learned from it, or just a really positive experience?
Well, first of all, I think every audition is an experience, which is great. I think do you know what? It's kind of audition, but kind of not. It was a course.
Yeah.
A presenting course, but they put a camera on us. The first thing, so we went to do the course, and so I'm going to learn things. But the first thing they did, they put a camera on me and they went, "You've got 30 seconds, go." And I was like, and I just had to talk, and I've never done this. Was me preparing for TV, and that was the scariest.
Yeah,
the most I learned so much from it. And then of course and did it again, and like how much, yet how small 30 seconds, yet how long does it go on for?
Yeah.
Try to tell about myself within 30 seconds. What are the main bits about me? How do I put my personality through those 30 seconds? In a few words I'm going to say, like, all these questions suddenly flooded into my head. And it was great.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't best, obviously, but I think it was such an amazing learning moment, just being put into spotlight like that without any explanation, or I didn't know what to expect. And also because, like I said, I came there to learn, and then suddenly they're like,
bam,
go.
yeah,
30 seconds, we want to know everything about you in those 30 seconds. In fact, it's a great exercise for everyone.
That is, and I think I would really struggle to speak about myself, because we don't tend to have to do that in auditions. No. But why not, when we are the
you are presenting.
Yeah,
I think it's really great going into audition knowing who you are,
definitely.
And that's what that really helps with. And as you do it again and again, you're like, and often we just start hooking up to facts. I've done it, dancing. It really is, and you can find ways of bringing your personality and all the things that you're about in a few lesser words, but a lot more content. And like we said, it's the first impression, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
From that day, I always have it in my mind, because now I'm a lot more clear who I am, what do I bring to the table, and what my brand, if you want, brand is, and things like that.
That is such a good piece of advice. And I have to ask you before you go, did you have to audition for Strictly?
Yes, I sort of did. So they came for us because we were already national champions and world champions.
Yeah.
But then we still had to do audition. I remember we did like on camera thing. We had to teach somebody, and then just talk to camera a little bit, which I've never done before. And now I watch my very, very, very first like interviews and stuff. Yeah. It's so interesting.
Have you grown, do you think, with the confidence of being on camera?
Oh my God, like I don't even, not that I don't recognize, but everything is more condensed.
Yeah.
It's like I'm still me, but like the quiet version. But now I just know who I am. I embrace myself, and it's really interesting to look back. But what's even funnier is the very, very first time we had a conversation with executive producer. We were not even auditioning for. I was there by accident. Neil was covering or something. I was just tunnel vision on winning the world championships. Like the industry, and I just remember when I was like, what is going on? What is this show?
Can you compete and do the show or not?
No. Really not. And that's why at that point I was like, no, like
really,
it's the best job literally for me. I really believe like I've been destined to do this. I just love it so much. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing. Because I didn't know that you couldn't compete really and do the TV show.
You really can't. It's too time consuming, and then going back into our industry after missing so much is almost impossible. It's a little bit like the only way I can compare like here on your industry, like if people go to cruises, they're out of game a little bit.
Right, so they've been away for quite a while.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that, and you have to restart again. But if you've been a finalist, you don't want to go back and then restart again, No,
exactly. Amazing. So they really focused on that for that Strictly audition, the TV side of it, and seeing you teach. That's so interesting.
But also is the personality whilst you teach.
Exactly.
Not the ability, but the way you do it. So, and I always love teaching, and
you're a fantastic teacher.
Love teaching, so
well,
that's why I just have all aspects of these things.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We've talked for so long. I'm sorry for taking so much of your time.
They don't need to hear all our nonsense.
It was so, I know, I just enjoyed talking to you, Katya. I was like, oh yeah, I'm recording a podcast, and also Katya. I'm going to ask all my guests to sign off the podcast by saying its title. Thanks. That's all for today. Could we have, in the most fabulously Katya or Glinda way you want to say it, thanks, that's all for today.
Thank you, everybody. That's all for today.
Woohoo! Amazing. Thanks for listening, everybody, and massive love to Katya.
Mwah!